Well, Vito, I'm happy to report that this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have Daisy Ridley. Come on in, Daisy!
No, you shut up.
Come on!
In a world filled with cinematic trash, it's easy to call out everything wrong with a movie. But what if we forced that lazy film criticism to stop hating on movies? What if they were forced to love them? We grabbed two of the most negative neck-bearded film critics on the internet and forced them to watch some of Hollywood's greatest dumpster fires. They'll go head-to-head, competing to see who can most convincingly defend these cinematic piles of Each man must fight to overcome his hatred, learn to love each wretched film, and confidently declare to the world that it is the best movie ever.
Best Movie Ever is going to be part of my new movie channel, Movie World, where we only talk movies. So hit that subscribe button, that bell for all alerts, and then smash that like button and leave a comment down below with the movie you want to torture us with next. Welcome to Best Movie Ever, and happy May the 4th! Woo! What is that, Vito? That's not a lightsaber?
Oh, it's a back massage here.
Ah, yeah.
It's got multiple vibrating modes.
Yeah!
Just like Kylo Ren's red lightsaber.
Guys, today we're going to talk about Rise of the
it.
Skywalker Rise, which is the best Star Wars movie ever, Vito. Are you ready to defend Rise of Skywalker as the best Star Wars movie ever?
Yeah, I am. I think I found some okay ones.
I'm not prepared for this week. This is going to be the toughest
both of us
week.
have kind of admitted to each other, look, man, I'm going by the seat of my pants on this one.
Last week, we had the amazing Red Williams on, and that was amazing.
Yes.
Red was the judge, and he deemed me the winner, Vito. But we did a poll. I'm looking at it again. Let's refresh it. It looks like you won by one poll.
Yeah,
oh, no, you didn't! No,
Wait,
you
what?
didn't! No!
What do you mean?
14 to 12, I won! I won,
How?
baby!
Dude, that is... Okay, hold on. Before we started this, I was ahead by one vote. And Andy goes, hold on, let me check. I'm not sure if I voted. Dude, I swear to God, this with you is the sneakiest backdoor nonsense. Last episode, you go, oh, by the way, I have Red Williams, the actor of Jax here.
Well, Vito, I'm happy to report that this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have Daisy Ridley. Come on in, Daisy.
No, you shut up.
Come on.
Shut up. You idiot. Look, man, you're setting a dangerous precedent because I'm going to start pulling some sneaky nonsense on you, all right?
You get to go first or second. What would you like to do?
You know what? This might be one of the rare instances where going second could be. I'm going to let you stumble out of the gate.
Oh.
I'm going to let you lead us out.
I was not prepared. He's putting me
I
off
know.
my guard.
That's the thing. I think I'm catching you off guard.
Holy moly, he just put me off my guard.
You thought you were going to have all of mine to try and figure out where you were going to go.
All righty. Well, that's how the game works. All right, I'm looking at my list. Here we go. Number one reason why The Rise of Skywalker is the best Star Wars movie ever. I got to say, the effects in this movie are the best in the biz. The effects in this movie, it doesn't even matter whether you know what's going on or whether you like what's going on. ILM is at the top of its game, and I would argue the practical effects mixed with the visual effects, they're seamless. As much as if anybody wanted to, because I wouldn't, because this movie is amazing, anybody wanted to complain about anything going on in this movie, you cannot deny the creature effects, the practical effects that JJ actually does do in this film many times with that scene in the bar, etc. Babu Frik. I mean, there's so much practical stuff that harkens back in the day that I do have to give that stuff massive respect. Sometimes you can't even tell when it's real and when it's not. And you'd think sometimes these movies, especially these space CGI movies, sometimes you're like, oh, this looks just, they don't have any budget for that. But on the Star Wars, they give them all the budget on that. ILM goes all out on these effects, and from a visual standpoint, it is stunning. Stunning effects, creative effects, really cool. Even those creatures in that the where they go to space, Burning Man, that whole scene.
The elephant raid.
Yeah, they're walking around. I think they did a really good job at least creating things. Even the end scene with the throne, like it's a cool set. Everything looks real.
It's a good-looking movie for sure. Even though the Battle of Exegol, I think, is a very good-looking scene in terms of visuals. Does it make sense from a story standpoint? That's a whole different discussion. But yeah, it looks very good. Not bad.
All right,
not bad.
all right. So now Vito's up to bat. I wonder if I threw him off. We'll see. Vito, what's your number one?
I feel like this is one. I feel like this might be obvious. The return of Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Now, we all thought Harrison famously has never been a huge fan of the Han Solo character. He basically told George Lucas, "Please kill me so I can stop being in this crazy space movie." And yet J.J. Abrams said, "I want to give this movie one final scene that really brings Han Solo back and lets one of the emotional cores of this whole franchise speak to his son." I mean, even though the characters are a little uneven, Kylo Ren, it's a powerful scene to have a son who's done wrong, who's, unfortunately seen his father pass at his own hands and is now at a crossroads, realizes he's been living his life wrong. And who better to show up than Harrison Ford, fantastic actor. And it's the father and son moment, speaks to his son and tells him what you want to hear from your father. "Son, you've made mistakes and I forgive you and I love you." At one point, Adam Driver even tries to tell him,
"Dad,
I know you love me. It can go unsaid." And also having Adam Driver in that scene, I mean, I would say two of the best actors of all time. I love Adam Driver, and I, of course, love Harrison Ford. I don't know if we're ever going to see them on the same stage together again. So just seeing those two great actors interact, I love that scene for what it is. I think it's a very powerful moment.
I know. Oh my God, I'm allowed to be negative. When the I know was
as far
so
as the script goes.
forced.
That was a great little line, great callback.
Fan
and
service.
Adam is acting his heart out in that one. He's
I will
quivering,
give it to Adam.
His lips shaking. He's like, "Dad, I." And Harrison's just
and
like,
I read
I know.
that's how they got Harrison back, because JJ was basically like, "Do it for Adam. Adam needs you in this to like let him have a finale of his arc." And I respect that, because I do think Adam did a good acting scene, and it was nice for Harrison to come back. But
I like that Harrison's like, that he deserves it. He deserves
that I know
moment.
felt so out of place and forced. I mean, I get it, I know, but I'm like, really? It just felt like it took.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, is that really what? So it wasn't just like a one-off fun thing to be cheeky. No, Harrison Ford now always just tells anybody who says they love him, "I know." Like, come on, he has no.
I didn't think it felt forced. I think Harrison. Remember, I mean, theoretically, Adam Driver's talking to himself. So yeah, the fake ghost dad Harrison Ford knows, of course.
Is that
what
like
he's
Adam
gonna
Driver's
say,
like memory of
it.
like, well, I saw him do this in Return of the Jedi or Empire, so maybe he would say it to me.
He knows his father loves him. In a way, that's more powerful.
But how would his memory know what Han
that
would
my
say
father
there?
loved me? I know that my father
How would
loved
Adam
me. Now,
Driver know
did his
there's a
father
Star
still
Wars
love him after
Easter
he
egg?
stabbed him in the stomach? Maybe the love there, not so much. But he believes that his father loved him. Look, regardless, we got Harrison back one more time, and I think it was fantastic. I loved seeing him, and he's a great actor.
We got to be careful.
He
because
really makes it work.
When we fight back, this can become a whole different show. So I'm gonna, I will stop fighting. All right,
you're allowed to challenge me a little bit.
Now your
fair.
turn to challenge me as I go to number 2 on my list, and I'm going for the jugular veto. I might have saved this one, but you know what? We're playing best Star Wars movie ever. Well, you know what? I should have gone with this number 1, audience, and I'm sorry I didn't. You know what makes Rise of Skywalker the best? Because it completely course corrects the universe. It does what every fan was wanting, which was to erase the god-awful Last Jedi. To what other movie, Vito, has the balls to say, "I do not accept your choices, good sir. I am going to go back and change everything you did and negate anything you wanted, and I'm going to fix it." Because that's where it should have gone in the first place, Rian. That's what this film did. JJ had the guts to actually tell Rian Johnson on screen,
a Jedi's weapon deserves more respect.
I mean, the guts of JJ to be able to come and do what so many fans wanted, which was to give the middle finger to that second terrible installment. The Rise of Skywalker succeeds. I mean, you got to give that a massive round of applause for just admitting failure and saying, yeah, we know we effed up. So, yeah, we're going to give you all this cool stuff. Yeah, we're going to give you a big finale with all the people. Look at all those starships. Isn't that cool? Oh, look, the gang's back together. Woo, woo, woo. That's what you wanted. Oh, you wanted the Emperor? Bam! The Emperor was there the whole time. We're not even going to waste a movie. We're going to tell you in the beginning.
Andy, I feel like I'm watching a man commit suicide right now. What are you saying? Like, I got to challenge you on this one. I did not pay for a $15 movie ticket to watch two movie directors have a slap fight with each other about who had the best course for the... What are you talking about?
Course for the Force, it was JJ all along.
I love that it threw out the previous movie and did things completely unconnected to the ongoing plot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're burying yourself a little with that one.
I think fans will know what I'm saying. Last Jedi was an embarrassment. And everyone, that they did to Luke, everything. This movie took it back. It took back Luke and was like, no, don't be a stupid hermit like I was. That was stupid. Yeah. Why would anybody do that? You facts. Why would we do that, Ryan? The fact that Rise of Skywalker addresses that to the fans is go, we know. We're sorry. Hey.
To be clear, one of your points was bringing back the Emperor was what exactly?
What the fans wanted. We've been wanting him for the beginning.
What the fans wanted.
Vito, they didn't even mess around. They literally didn't even surprise us. And they were like, you know what? Let's tell you in the first opening of the scroll. Look at that. Sure. He's back.
Palpatine has returned.
It's there. Why mess around? Why do anything? Why just get to it, baby? That's what we wanted. That's what it was supposed to be. F you, Rian Johnson. I'm J.J. Abrams. I know what I'm doing. I got the Force, baby. The Force is in me. Suck it.
It would have been great if there was a scene where like a stormtrooper shows up and he's like, my name's Ryan. And then Ray cuts his head off, because that's what the fans want, according to you.
I mean, it kind of felt like that's
it's just a giant middle finger to Rian Johnson.
That was exciting as hell. So there you go, fan. I mean, come on. Tell me down in the comments that I'm not totally on point here with take number 2.
I do enjoy seeing the most expensive, petty slap fight in the history of blockbuster movie making. I must admit.
When else are you going to get that?
I guess there's a little something to that.
What other
You're never going to see directors given billions of dollars to rip on another director's work. I don't think you're going to see that again.
Ever. All right, Vito. Ball's in your court now. Try to beat that,
baby. Ball's in my court. Well, speaking of balls, if we're talking about what the fans want, we get a little bit of it, and I love it, is the classic bromance between Finn and Poe. Now, these guys in Force Awakens, we loved seeing the escape, them becoming friends in that quick scene, trying to escape from the TIE fighters. There was a chemistry between these two guys that I think we wanted to see more of. And thankfully, J.J. Abrams, I think, very wisely let us see Finn and Poe hanging out, having a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of the little banter. I think these two guys, frankly, were more interesting. I would have liked to see them expanded on more than just Rey and Kylo. And unfortunately, Ryan dropped the ball there, but I think JJ did pick the ball up there. We opened the movie with, after the Adam Driver sequence, it goes to Finn and Poe on an adventure. They got to get the plans from the weird alien guy. They're, in the Millennium Falcon. You got Poe, he's flying the Falcon. You got Finn, he's the gunner. I mean, it's a great, fun adventure. I honestly would enjoy a solo film with just those two guys having fun with each other. Again, great chemistry on and off the set between Boyega and Oscar Isaac. These guys seem like friends in real life, and I think it translates well to the screen. Some of the jokes maybe fall flat between them, but there's still good energy. They have a lot of fun. I love that this bromance was given a little bit of love here. I think it was good. You're shaking your head. What are you doing over here? Oh my God,
I hated it. It was so dumb. I didn't buy their friendship because it just was forced. I didn't care. Ray, I gotta tell you something, and then he never does. And
that's different. That's his relationship with Ray.
Wait, why are you gonna keep telling Ray? What are you gonna keep?
What were you gonna tell Ray before?
Who cares? I don't believe these two would ever be friends. They never were friends. I don't understand what bromance you're talking about. They're barely in the movie together. And then he doesn't even save him at the end. Lando saves him at the end. I didn't feel that. Both of those characters
not every
are
joke
completely
lands.
wasted
The
throughout
little
the whole
bit
movie.
about he keeps trying to tease him for running spice. Okay, it doesn't land, but just the idea that we got to see these two guys together and see where it could have gone.
Oh yeah,
and
there
are some
what
genuine
could have
moments.
happened.
I think that opening moment with the light speed skipping or whatever else, where they're fighting back and forth. Oscar Isaac is the firebrand, and what do you call it? Finn is kind of like a worried housewife. Oh, what are you doing here? He's like the straight man to Oscar Isaac's nonsensical, crazy guy. I love it. It's fun.
Number 3, I'm still getting used to what you just said there. I don't agree with that at all. All right, I got, let's see.
Okay, Mr.
Do you want me to go silly or do you want me to go serious?
Want.
I'm going to go silly or serious, Vito.
I'm not going to tell you how to play this, buddy.
You want me to go silly or serious?
I'm not telling you how to play it.
I'm giving you an opportunity. Would you like to direct where I go, silly or serious?
Give me a silly one.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go with the silly one. You know what this movie has?
What?
Non-stop action! The pacing of this film is insane. This movie gets right to it. It's like, we're not going to tell you how or why the Emperor's here. Emperor's here, bitches. Oh, and by the way, we're going to... Rey, remember you told your Rey's somebody. Dude, they're telling you everything. They're also like, oh, you think she's a Mary Sue? Let's watch her train. Badass. Oh, look, dead Leia's back. She's got shit to say. This movie just keeps going. Bam, bam. Light speed skipping through everything. It doesn't care if it makes sense. They're just like, you guys want Star Wars, space, battles, craziness. Bam, 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 bam. This movie's hitting you nonstop. It's zooming from one action scene to the other. They fly now. I mean, this movie is non-stop. It just never lets go, Vito. You're just waiting. And then finally at the end, you're like grasping for breath as Poe's there. And he's like, no one's coming. It's not I'm getting goosebumps, Vito. No one came. And then they cut you.
But there are more of us, Poe.
Oh my God, Lando's there in the Falcon. You got
here.
the score pick, and oh my God, they're all here. My girlfriend's here. Everybody's there, Vito. Bam, lightning, bam, we got all the Jedis. Rise, dude. This movie's nonstop. Nonstop action is what people want. That's what they want, man. They don't care about substance, plot. Nah, just keep moving through it all. Keep us excited, distracted, colors. Bam! Rise of Skywalker, rise! I mean, I needed to take a nap afterwards. It was so intense.
I feel like you're throwing this one on purpose. I feel like
dude,
you literally said, dead Leia's back? What's she up to? Something like that. Like, okay.
What?
You listed everything in the movie.
She was dead. R.I.P. That was not disrespect. But they're like, you know what? She's not dead in this movie. We have her alive.
I love that the action's so fast that she gets a 2-second funeral with her. An old butthole lady goes, oh, sleep well, dear princess. And then you immediately cut away because we got no time to deal with that.
She knows what to do.
Leia knows what must be done.
Is that that's not
Is
that racist? Were we allowed to do that?
No, it's not racist if you make the eyes wider. That's never a thing.
She is an alien, but I don't know if we're
racist to aliens here on
to
Butthole
eyes.
Planet.
Butthole eyes, as we called her in the Honest Trailers.
Butthole eyes, yeah. Well,
I stand by it,
the
Vito.
action never stops.
Non-stop action. Non-stop.
As long as we're talking about action. Now, look, this movie has a lot of face-offs between Rey and Kylo Ren. Kind of too many when you consider it's supposed to take place in 16 hours. You're like, well, how did you find time to fight this guy 3 times?
Sounds negative.
Okay.
It sounds negative, but where are you getting at?
Okay, well, I'll be negative about jumping over the TIE fighter. Not necessary. I'll be negative about the water battle. Wasn't that great? But you know what battle did work for me? The teleporting through time Jedi space battle on the snow planet versus the inside of the spaceship. Remember they're on the spaceship. Kylo Ren has a dumb room with Vader's helmet in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Rey goes to get her junk back that's been put in this room. And Kylo Ren's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? She's like, oh, my God, it's Kylo Ren.
Yeah, when they do
places.
they do the Force FaceTime call. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kylo Ren's trying to figure out where she is. She's trying to be like, oh, I don't want to let him know where I am. I got to be sneaky. But he's trying to hit me with this lightsaber. All of this looks visually very good. Okay, I love the way that Kylo Ren's chamber looks. It's a very like stark white, pristine chamber, like classic Empire set design. It honestly looks awesome when they're fighting in it, where again, you have the stark white, you have the red saber clashing with the blue saber. Just the colors of that look great. And even on the snow planet, you have kind of similar colors. You have the white of the snow. There's kind of blue in the background. But here it's darker. There's a dark background because it's nighttime. And again, the red and blue sabers clashing. So you have the white room, the dark room kind of, like playing off each other. And then they do these awesome little visual tricks. There's one point where Kylo Ren walks in front of the camera and it changes from being, again, in the white room to being outside as he, kind of acts as a wipe. It's super cool. And again, when she takes a swing at him, she cuts open a basket full of these red berries. Again, these bright red berries spilling all across this pristine white room. Just the colors, the cinematography, everything about it. Like this felt like the most artistic part of the whole movie. I could like take a still from this and hang it on my wall. And of course, when they both swing together, Vader's helmet explodes into all these crisp pieces of black. The helmet lands on the snow in front of Kylo Ren. If you had just shown me that, if I knew nothing about this universe and these characters, and you said, here's a scene from the new Star Wars movie that we're making. You don't know who Rey is. You don't know whatever. What do you think about this? I would have been like, oh, my God, this is going to be the best Star Wars movie ever. This looks incredible. So I just think that scene, I think it worked. It looked great. The dialogue, we're not talking about. Okay? Well, I know the secret of your lineage. No.
It
We're
all
talking
comes
about
together,
the visuals.
Vito.
If you're allowed to make the effects one of yours, okay, without talking about
So you're
what's
talking
actually
about the
going on with
effects in that scene. Okay, got it.
I'm talking about the cinematography, the effects, the look, the feel. Beautiful looking scene. I think anybody goes back and watches it, they would agree with me.
Yeah, it's a good looking scene. I'm not going to argue on it. You're right. It has some good visuals. For my number 4, I'm going to go with this also something I think was well earned and took forever to get to. But the fact that they finally gave C-3PO something to do.
That was one of mine.
They gave him an arc.
Yeah, I stole mine.
He was funny. They took a character that I've always liked C-3PO, don't get me wrong, but they took a side character that's always sort of been the joke, and they continued to make him be a joke. I love the line where it's like they all fall down and Poe's like asking everybody, and then they cut to C-3PO and he goes,
You didn't say my name, sir, but I'm all right.
It was just, it actually was a very funny moment, and C-3PO had a few funny moments where I got to give C-3PO props, and I think it was really great how they wrote the whole plot for him to sacrifice himself, and then Rey does the moment of, it's your decision. That's the other sort of side thing of here. They took all the droids so seriously in kind of a cool way that I thought. There was like a little bit of like the Justice for Droids, which they'd sort of done, but the Dio voice robot of no thank you, and it's like, it was just kind of an interesting subplot of like, yeah, droids can totally be, abused and used in a way that's just weird. So I like the fact that they had not only addressed it, but they really let a droid shine in this movie without it just rolling around like R2 and BB-8 have done and sort of been the stars of the show. C-3PO finally gets to be funny, do something worthwhile. I didn't love that it just sort of was so easy that, oh, no, I have your memory backed up. But I understood why they did that. It's sort of the easy Disney payoff. But on top of all that, there was like a moment where we got to see a Sith droid. And I kind of wish they had like run with that a little longer. That would have been really cool. But even just getting the moment of the dead-eyed speaking the Sith, and even that sort of, as annoying as it was that C-3PO wouldn't just read the language, I got it. I believed that, I believed that stumbling block that they had to get past, because it's like, he's like, I can't. My
I am mechanically incapable of speaking translations from Sith.
program will not let me read it.
I accepted that for what it is. That did not upset me too much.
Yeah, so overall, I was surprised because he's never been my favorite. I've enjoyed him, but in this movie, I had to, wow, they got me to really like root for and feel good and like C-3PO, so that was a genuine surprise and positive for me. There you go. Disagree? You like
I
that?
I got to give you that one because it was on my list. I always liked the idea that the Star Wars movies, like that R2-D2 and C-3PO were kind of the one constant through all of them, which I kind of disliked that the sequel trilogy got rid of that, and R2-D2 is in a corner for all of the movies just sitting around. I'm like, I know you want to have a new droid, but like, how can you get rid of R2 and C-3PO? So yeah, 3PO was great. And of course the great joke where they land on the desert planet. And he's like, oh God, what's going on here? And then C-3PO starts going, this planet is known for its wonderful parties and delectable sweets. And they all turn around to look at him like he's an idiot. And then he also does the turnaround. Like, what are we all looking at? All right, good visual gag. Yeah, and I did like seeing.
They made C-3PO, who can be sort of an annoyance, actually, it worked.
Number 4. Look, the fans needed it. The redemption of Luke Skywalker, the hero. We get to see Mark Hamill return. Again, like I said with Harrison Ford, which I honestly thought Ford's scene was on par with Mark Hamill here, where we get to see Luke has returned to the path of the Jedi. He is a sagely Obi-Wan type figure in the robes with the long hair, grabs the lightsaber, and has some very poignant words for Rey. I wrote down some of his lines because they were what we wanted to always hear from Luke Skywalker.
So you're saying they completely course-corrected the failures of The Last Jedi. It sure sounds like to me, but continue,
They did not
Vito.
completely course-correct.
I mean, it sounds like you're kind of borrowing what I just said, but continue.
No. Because you're like, oh, it's great that they just put everything the fans want.
I brought out many points to justify it, but continue, Vito. Go ahead, just steal one of them.
Okay, well, I'm going to narrow in on Mark Hamill's performance, where he speaks to Rey. Rey says, I'm afraid, and he tells her that
confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
It is what we all always wanted to see from Luke Skywalker, to see him ascend to this Obi-Wan level of being the Jedi Master who has seen it all and knows it all and is now passing his wisdom on to the next generation. And Mark Hamill, I think, knocks it out of the park. He has that certain mix of, we haven't lost the old plucky Luke. He's still smiling. He's still, a friendly guy, but he's more mature now. And of course, when she's like, I don't know how I'm going to get to Exegol because Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter's on fire. The lifting, the X-Wing, the callback to, of course, Empire Strikes Back, where Luke, who prior had watched Yoda do it, and he's like, I'm never going to be able to lift a friggin' X-Wing out of a swamp, now majestically lifts it up in the air. We see him concentrating. Rey turns to look at him again. He gives her that Luke Skywalker smile. Now, I'm not going to tell you why an X-Wing that's been rotting away under the ocean for 10 years is still a fully functional piece of hardware, but it's still an impressive visual. It's a poignant scene. And again, I think Mark Hamill knocks it out of the park. A great actor who was mostly done a disservice by the sequel trilogy, but I think he's able to leave it on a bit of a high note.
Yeah, I wish they would have given him more to do and he wouldn't have been stuck there in the first place. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I actually...
That was Rian Johnson. JJ couldn't stop that.
They could have brought him back for more and done even more, especially the finale, which they just have him be a voiceover along with the other Jedis. So much wasted opportunities.
Sure, but you can't have him
all the
fight
Jedis.
Like the Emperor because it's not his story anymore.
He was all the Sith, so bring out all the Sith and have a big, cool ghost battle. I would have... Dude, come on.
Everybody wanted the ghost battle. Look, this is not about the ghost battle. Okay, which I don't know why they didn't do it. It's so obvious,
so easy and obvious, and would have been fan service that we would have been like, "Whoa, actually cool." But
yeah, there would have been one thing to cheer about. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about we get to see Luke. He gets to be the Jedi. He gets to be the Wizened Master, and we get to see again. I think what they should have expanded upon, but at least we get a little taste, a little something, and I like it.
All right, moving on to my number 5. I have 2 left. I'm just debating, do I go serious or silly on this, Vito? And I'm gonna end serious because I've done a couple sillies already, and I stand by everything I've said. But I don't know if everyone is gonna agree with this one, but I gotta say I was surprised in the rewatch how much I cared about Ben Solo. I think Ben Solo's arc was surprisingly earned and great. I sort of shrugged it off the first time. I was sort of annoyed in the path, and I know there's a lot of people who don't like the Kylo and the Rey sort of relationship, but I don't know.
The dyad.
Yeah, I kind of did appreciate it more in the rewatch than I have before, and I see where people were coming from, and I really like that moment where Rey even tells, like in the moment where they use Leia, I don't really understand it fully, but okay, they use Leia to give a moment of distraction to finally give Rey a one-up to take him out, and Rey finally does it. And we have that moment, which I think, okay, whether I agree or not, it's explained, it's there, and on the rewatch, I accepted it a little bit more. But it turned, and I fell more into place when Rey turns and goes, I would have taken your hand.
Ben's hand.
Like, and it all clicked, and I'm like, okay, her character makes more sense. Like, she did like Ben. She was into Ben.
Yeah.
Whether it was romantically, friendshiply, it didn't sort of matter. She was sort of heartbroken at the fact that this guy who seemed to have a heart couldn't have it. And then you cut to that moment where you have the memory of Han, which at first I sort of was like, why is he a Force? But it's kind of a touching moment. You touched upon it, but it's all part of the arc, which I'm talking about more.
Yes.
It's just like the arc of then him saying, you know what, I can do it. And he even tells Harrison Ford, like,
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
And again, Adam Driver, amazing performance. You focus on that moment, but continuing the whole Ben Solo arc of then him showing up in that moment was the one time where I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And then when he's like, "Rise, strike me down, that you will do this now." And she sort of comes back and the saber's gone and it goes to him. And we get to have him like, yep. Now, I wish that fight would have been better. There's a lot of things I still wish would have been better. But still, the moment of Ben finally standing up to sort of everything was very Star Warsian, I think. And to me, I was more interested in Ben Solo and Kylo Ren's plot throughout than I was Rey, to be perfectly honest. And so I appreciated when the two of them teamed up for that end. And then they get to have that moment. I have to say, again, there's still some issues I have, but best movie ever. I think overall there's a lot of fans who enjoyed that relationship. And I think thanks to Adam Driver and some of those moments I put out, it does work in the movie. And I got to give Ben Solo props for the finale.
Well, I mean, I'm going to put a little plug here. If you go watch my video, Rise of Skywalker, Complete Cinematic Failure, one of the big chapters I have is about just how great Adam Driver is. That he really is, even though he wasn't given a lot to work with, what he was given, he tries his hardest to make it work. Mm-hmm. And at points, you're like, God, I really like some things about this guy. I'm just a little confused about who he is and what he wants. But he's got emotions, and he makes them read on screen.
Yeah, and because he's so good,
that's just a weird script.
I think I was more angry about the things that were not happening or explanations, but I think in the rewatch, I just turned it off, and it was more like, yeah, this guy's giving a great performance, and I bought it a little bit more than I did. So yeah, you're right. It's probably more because of his performance, and then even Harrison Ford coming back to give him that respect of that performance. The whole things add up to I think a whole to make that better, in my opinion. So,
number 5. This is an easy one. This is simple. Everyone knows it. Everybody out there's thinking it. And I'm going to be the one to say it. The best character in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Babu Frik. Yes! Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Do you need your droid fixed? Do you have a Sith droid that refuses to speak the ancient evil language and tell you where the magic knife is? Who are you going to call? My boy Babu, the best droid smith you've ever come across. Continuing the great Star Wars tradition of what you expect is not what you're always going to get. Sometimes it's good to subvert expectations, like we saw with Yoda in Empire Strikes Back. I'm seeking the ancient Jedi Master Yoda. It's a little green puppet, okay? It's Kermit the Frog's cousin. It catches you off guard, but you fall in love with the guy. Here, we need a guy who can fix a droid. I assume he's going to be some rough mechanical type, some big brute with a wrench in his hand. It's a tiny little alien buddy with a fun mustache who goes, hey, it's me, Babu Frik. Look, how are you going to leave this movie with not having a smile on your face from Babu Frik? I loved this little guy. One shining moment in this movie is visiting the Babu Frik workshop, him, negotiating with them or whatever else. Everything about that I loved, and I think who could hate Babu Frik, really? He's the best new addition. Forget about Dio. I know they had plenty of Dio toys. Where's my Babu Frik life-size animatronic puppet? That's what I want. Tell me I'm wrong.
He was on my list. I mentioned him earlier, and I was going to even bring him back, so I'm glad you did. But yeah, the practical effects of him, everything. And again, another thing I love, a C-3PO moment.
Might I introduce myself? I am C-3PO, and you are?
Babu Frik.
Why, hello.
When he goes,
We picked up a transmission from someone named Babu Frik.
Babu Frik. Oh, he's one of my oldest friends.
It's just a very cute moment between the two of them. It's Babu Frik is a great little addition, and such a they don't overdo it. I kind of wish he didn't show up in the cockpit of Zora Bliss going like it was like a little too much. But I understood.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I understood. They're like, hey, we need more. Throw him in the cockpit. So it was kind of like, oh, he said it again. Yay.
Well, he escaped with her from the planet, which they blew up the whole planet full of people. What a dark movie, man. It's like, hey, remember Babu Frik's planet? Well, he's okay, but we did kill millions of people. Don't think about it. Whatever.
He's just been sitting in Felicity's lap.
I'm alive. That's all that matters.
Sitting in Felicity's lap for hours, for years, however long it took there to get there.
You think both of them would be a little weird, like a little sad that the planet they live on, all their friends and family, hey, we're here. It's me. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't work as much when you put it in context.
No. Well, I mean, Vito, we just got through it. We did it. We each listed 5 positive things about the Rise of Skywalker. Oh, I'm so relieved it's over.
Yeah. Before we went into this, we were looking at our list and we're like, okay, some of these are not really positives about the movie.
Exactly.
I was like, well, Billy Dee Williams got a paycheck. Good. He deserves it.
Yeah. Mine was like, it's a lesson learned of always have a plan before you make a movie, But we kind of deemed early on those don't count.
It's a lesson in bad screenwriting. Yeah. That's not a positive about the movie itself.
Overall, there it is. We did it. Best Star Wars movie ever is Rise of Skywalker. Rise.
Yes. The best Star Wars movie is The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, somebody clip that.
Oh, God, that hurts to say.
Somebody clip it. Well, we did it, and you guys can vote who was the best at giving the most positive points. I want your votes down below in the pinned comment. You can go vote in the straw poll and see who wins. In the meanwhile, if you haven't already subscribed to Vito, what are you waiting for? Go over to YouTube, Vito. Search Vito on YouTube. You'll find him. Go watch his amazing reviews and such.
YouTube.com/Vito. Easy to find. And you should watch, again, Rise of Skywalker, a complete cinematic failure. It's a whole deep dive on that movie, and it's a lot of fun.
Rise and hit that subscribe button while you're here. Hit the bell for all alerts. Leave a like down below and a comment thing. I don't know. Just tell us something so the engagement happens. So these videos get around because we're so close to having this hit. I feel it. A lot of you guys are enjoying it. Thank you guys who are watching it. Thank you, Vito, for always doing this and watching it.
Tell us who had the best point, the number one. Which point
was your favorite
was
point?
The absolute best one?
I like the end. Tell us what movie you want next. Now we have opened the playing field and we need some suggestions. All right, stay tuned for more
Best Movie Ever!